going to show, everyone's going to do a back lever today. People are scared now. All right, so we've got the skin to cat position. So we now need to be able to create a stable shape from which we can move to the next progression. So Jacko's going to come through, goes into a skin to cat. You can see he gets his hips all the way around. The job now is to start to flatten this shape out. Levers are just like seesaws. We have to distribute weight either side of our base of support. So to be able to extend the legs out, which weigh more than the upper body, Jacko's got to send as much weight as he can forwards. You can see as he pulls his back up, he straightens out, still keeping midsection nice and strong, but he's keeping those knees tucked in. We call that a tucked pull through. So he's coming through, going from this rounded position where you're tucked in to starting to open yourself out. Think about in that position, if you're Superman, you kind of like leisurely, kind of like Sunday afternoon fly around, but you know when Superman's got to get somewhere quickly, he's like, right, jet, boom, okay, kick forward, just drive yourself into that shape. You'll feel like you get it right because you'll feel yourself move forward with distributing weight. That feels difficult. We're going to use the locker tool, which is assistance. So Jacko's just going to get one of the bands. We'll put these around for you. All you're going to do now is just loop the band onto the rings, and you can skin the cat into the band. So it's just going to create a cradle across the hips.
So put the band through the middle and your hands on the outside. So hands on the outside.
So two things we need to look at here. He just puts his hips in. When he comes around, guys, palms facing upwards. Okay, we're going to wind the shoulder in this way. Don't go with the palms facing down. So wind them up. The cradle now just gives some support. So he hasn't got to manage all of his body weight, but he can still feel what it's like to make that shape. And if he gets that position, then it's just dead easy. Okay, the thicker the band, the more likely you are to get a back lever today. So don't be afraid of going for the big fat green one. Really good. It's all right, yeah, let go of it, good. Hey, nice, really good. So that position there is really hard, so when you come around, you keep palms down, let your shoulders go inwards. So when you rotate around, think about palms to ceiling. Just show me again quick, that's it.
Like this or like so?
That way. Because the shoulder's in a much safer position. If you go down, you see the shoulder sits right out of the socket.
So when you go upside down, do you need to rotate?
Yes. Good, I've got you in there. There you go. Feel what your range of movement feels like is to go all the way around, touch your toes on the floor, and then pull yourself all the way back out. And then you'll get a sense of what full 360 feels like.
Is that right?
Perfect, just hold on nice and tight, don't let go. Skin the cat into the band, good. Keep your knees in tight. Good, palms up, that's it. Straight in.
Is that right?
Perfect, it's a back lever. yeah, that's great. One thing to think about on this, guys, is what's happening with the hand position. So a more advanced back lever is going to be in here. But what that's going to do is put a huge amount of tension through the bicep. And most of us aren't conditioned to be able to actually handle that kind of force. So what we want to do is go here. Okay, internally rotating the shoulder winds the shoulder to a much safer position. It means actually the benefit is I can create a huge amount of like torque and just hang in the joint. If I go here, I've got to create a load of downward pressure to be able to actually hold the position. So to start off with, whilst we're starting to get into calisthenics, one thing to be mindful of is that ligaments and tendons and connective tissue heal much slower than muscle, with a lower blood supply. So it's very easy to overwork these tissues because you haven't put, probably, if you've never done calisthenics or gymnastics before, you haven't put this kind of load through those structures before. So take it easy, make life a little bit easier for yourself when you're learning to do something. As you get better at the back lever and you've done more, then we can start to open this out. If you think about the amount of load you're going to put through your shoulders, elbows and wrists, if you all of a sudden in your training start introducing hand balancing, back levers, maybe some flag and push and pull work, like you'll end up with golfer's elbow like we have done in the past before, nasty neuro sort of stuff which takes some time to go away. So just when you're doing this, guys, just from a safety perspective for you, just wind that shoulder in, hang into that position first, nail that, and then if you want to tidy up into a more advanced progression, you can go palms down. You can hold a position for about 10 seconds, work hard in that position, like the isometrics for 4 sets of 10 seconds. When you can do that, then you can move to the next progression on from there. So it might be, Jacko, just jump on here. I'll get Jacko to show us out the band. But he might go tuck position and hold for 10 seconds. If you can then hold that for 10 seconds, he might then go single leg position, which is taking a little bit more weight outside, but still not the full thing. And we then can start working on that and building up the strength of that position. It's all about go on, you'll be all right. So tuck position, I could pull through, just hold that for 10 seconds. Build that strength of pulling hands to hips and creating that nice stable position. He can then do his next progression, taking one leg out. So we've still got, create an overload, go straddle, which is a little bit more progressive, feet together is our full back lever shape. what a lot of people do when they go wrong generally with calisthenics is they'll shoot for that harder progression all the time, and then they go, can't do it, can't do it. And you, like we said with the handstand, you just get to touch a second's worth of exposure, wind it all the way back, quality practice. You'll feel like you're not progressing as quickly, but actually you're building much more meaningful strength. What happens is if, say Jack and I were learning something at the same time, if I built that strength progressively and then added layers on and he kicked out into it, what often happens is that person is just kicking into a full movement has to come back and take a much longer journey. It feels like a long way around, but it's actually the shortest way home, to quote C.S. Lewis.